Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and you may be wondering what the hell is happening in Texas, United States. So no, if you go to social media and probably some news headline in chat rooms, you may be reading something about civil war in the United States, something about Texas sending their National Guards against federal troops or agents to the border, and in some kind of clash that is about to happen, and some kind of standoff, and you may be wondering what the hell is happening. Is the American Civil War 2 about to happen? And I'm here to explain what the hell is happening in as simplest as possible language that you may be able to understand. I have went through around 50 over articles to try to understand what the hell is happening, and you're definitely not going to read 50 articles with me right now. I'm just going to sum up generally what the hell is happening. So all in all, it all started with Biden. Joe Biden, when he took office, he removed quite a number of laws and systems that Donald Trump have put on to fight against illegal immigration. And you may or may not know that illegal immigration in the United States is extremely bad. Very, very bad. We are talking about millions of people entering United States illegally. So they are having a few Singapores every year, of population flowing into their country illegally, and United States currently have no freaking idea how many people there is actually not their citizen is currently in the country. Is very, very messed up. So after years of a situation in where Joe Biden is not doing anything to fight against illegal immigration, Texas decided to do their own shit, and they started an operation called Operation Lone Star, if I'm not wrong. And the idea is to arrest all these illegal immigrants, and also to secure the border, since the federal agents and the border securities are not going to do it, then they're going to do it themselves. And then comes the current issue. So the current issue is that the Texas National Guards have put up concertina wires, or barbed wires if you don't understand what it is. Basically securing the border around this area called the Eagle Pass. So let me show you what is Eagle Pass. So this is the United States, clearly, and we are here. This is Texas state, and then Eagle Pass is at this point of the border, opposite of this town or city called Piedras Negras. I think that's what they call Piedras Negras. So, and in this area there is legal crossing. In this area here, I think there's some bridges, and there is actually immigration. So and then there is, of course, there's customs and everything. So there is some kind of a legal crossing around this area. But I think there is also in this area, among the entire of this Texas border, that it's actually more easy to cross. For if you want to cross just the river itself, the river doesn't look really wide. I think it's very swimmable. And the main issue right now is at Eagle Pass. So this Eagle Pass is basically this town around here, and particularly we are talking about this Shelby Park. Shelby Park is basically this area here. This area here currently, including this golf course and everything, this entire area here is now shut off from the federal agents, because this is actually more like private land or state land kind of thing, because the immigration is behind. So this area here basically is not part of the immigration. It is by right not exactly part of the custom control. So the National Guards basically come here and set up shop. And you can see from the video, the National Guards are basically having their Humvees. They are carrying M16s, carbines. They are deployed at this place. This is basically at Shelby Park, and of course the illegal immigration is not coming only through Shelby Park, or that doesn't just go through the this entire city of Eagle Pass. Of course, illegal immigration actually goes through the entire state border between the country's border between Mexico and United States. But this is just the front line in the battle between the states, especially those states in the border region, against the federal government that is currently being led by Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. So this is the front line. So when they talk about the front line in this matter, in this story, this is actually where the front line is, because they are using this one point as where all the legal battles will be. The battle is actually not among soldiers and agents and government workers. The battle is in the courtroom, and is this out of no choice situation that Texas have to go down this road and to try to find legal loopholes to allow them to deploy their troops, to use state laws to protect their border if the federal government, the United States government, do not do their part and do their job to secure the border. And this is basically the litmus test between whether the state actually have the power or not to secure their state, or the federal government or the United States government actually have full control over the life and death of the states. Because when you talk about illegal immigration, is very, very serious, because we're talking about like if you look at how they would describe it, Texas currently is calling this an invasion of illegal immigration, and they're using the concept of invasion by foreign people as the basis, invasion of their state as a basis to deploy the National Guards. And this is currently not wrong, because if you talk about a swarm of people coming into your land, that's an invasion. But of course, we always imagine invasion as they carrying guns and tanks and having military. But what if all this military just throw away their guns? There's no guns. They just all swarm in. Millions of these people. Is that still an invasion? Just without guns means it's not an invasion. So this is a very difficult question. And clearly, there is downside and a lot of negative problems that comes with illegal immigrants, and of course this is why they have this main issue. But however, on the Democratic side, the argument is always very humanitarian. It's always about freedom and liberty until they live next door to you, or they start to mess up the streets downstairs of you. But of course, this is what it is, and this is the situation. And we can look at more of these pictures coming from this area here. You can see these are the illegal immigrants, I guess. Yeah, these are migrants. They're looking for they swim across the river or walk across the river somehow. Like I said, the river is very crossable, and they're trying to find a place where they can go through. Why? Because just like United Kingdoms, or I think Europe, the laws against illegal immigrants is very weak, and the moment they come into your land, they are subjected to lengthy legal processions and bureaucracies, and basically they will end up just live in your country. Put it that way. And once they are in your country, you can, because the queue for the court systems is so long for illegal immigrants. They basically live in United States. They can run away. Nobody can find them again, because the United States is a huge, basically like a continent. So the aim is always to get through, and hopefully one day they can find a way to gain citizenship and whatnot. Of course, that is on the positive note, where they are coming into the United States for economic reasons. So anyway, so that's the situation. And we can look at more pictures. You can see this is so you can see this is the containers that the Texas state placed along the riverbank, and then on these containers they put concertina wires. So concertina wires is basically like barbed wires, but barbed wires is old school. It's basically spikes, and basically barbed wires will hang on to you and grab you and cause you to get stuck. Concertina wires is different. Concertina wires are wires with blades. They are like, you know, penknife blades. They are really, really sharp. This basically, if you go through that wire, you probably can go through, but you'll get very deep cuts all over your body. So that is the difference between a barbed wire and a concertina wire. A barbed wire stops you and entangles you. A concertina wire cuts you up. And I have experienced it myself during my military days. I accidentally just scrub past. It is a very, very innocent, that is not like I push through. I just walk past a concertina wire. My military pants basically got hooked a little. It was just a very smooth go past, and there was a big hole. There's a hole on my pants, and that is a military pants. So the military trousers are, the cloth is different, it's much more tougher, and I was shocked how sharp it is. So concertina wires are no joke. They are very, very sharp knives along the entire chain of the wire. So this is actually unpassable. If you try to pass it, you're gonna get cut so badly that yeah, it's not gonna be fun. So with these containers all along the coast, the coast of this riverbank, and then they put up all this concertina wire, it seems to be proving to be pretty effective. Particularly on top of that, they have the military, the National Guards, the Texas National Guards guarding the this crossing. Is proving to be really almost impossible for the for these illegal immigrants to try to get through. And in fact, some of this trigger in this political debates or argument is that there are already some illegal immigrants that drowns in the river in the attempt to go through, but they cannot find a way through, and then they are blaming Texas government for it, which the logic don't makes a lot of sense to me. But no, they say that their federal agents are unable to go and save all these people because of all these wires. Yeah, so yeah, very confusing. So this is a concertina wire. You can see these are the blades. Oops, I cannot zoom in anymore. That's as much as I can go. So you can, these are every single these things of these are blades, penknife blades, very, very sharp. So no, there's no joke. And I see, and we got more images. No, these are illegal immigrants. You can see. I'm not sure that what the boat is belongs to the agents or whatnot. You can see illegal immigrants on the other side of the coast. Even just near the river, there is already concertina wires. I don't think you can see it. It's small over here, and then this is the big one. This is on top. So, and yeah, so the Texas the AG, the Attorney General, basically have rejected this the ability to cross. And this is more images. You see the content. This bridge. This is actually the bridge that you see here. This is the bridge that leads to the custom, and so just below the bridge along the river, you see they are putting the containers. The National Guards are putting on the wires and whatnot. So yeah, so this is the situation now, and yeah, let me bring this to. So the AG, this is from the Ken Paxton, the AG of Texas, the Attorney General of Texas. He says that he's rejecting the request to stop doing whatever they are doing and grant the federal agents access. And basically he rejected the federal agents, and he actually now counter demand from the DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security. They say that they must, by February 15th, they must supply the official maps. Let me zoom in a bit, and the deeds demonstrating precise parcels of land to which they claim ownership, because like I mentioned earlier, they actually do not own any of those land, because it's particularly that's also not where the customs is, and they need to write an explanation on how Texas is preventing access to these specific parcels of land which the DHS have access or own. And so this is and also, you know, to explain how Texas is preventing access, and documentation showing that the Eagle Pass of Texas ever granted permission for DHS to erect infrastructures that interfere with border security. So and then the proof of Congress empowering the DHS to turn the Texas park into an unofficial illegal port of entry. And so this is very, very important, because this is the Texas park into an illegal port of entry is exactly what I'm trying to tell you in the map, is that the actual port of entry is here. This is the port of entry, not the park. This is a bridge, and the bridge is, no, this is part of the border, the customs. They can cross over. The agents probably can go upstairs, you know, along the bridge, but the park below, this golf course, this river, this park here, this baseball park, you know, this is not part of the DHS controlled territory. This bridge all the way to this customs, this is DHS controlled territory. So there is a very clear difference between whether the DHS or the Texas Guard have any of this access. Is clearly based on exactly which parcel of land they actually have control. So this is actually a very, very good argument by the AG, and of course this request for answers is definitely going to fall through. It's going to fail, because Texas know what they're doing. They know that there is no case in that way, by that kind of framing. So so what happened currently is that in terms of this framing on the federal side, is that the federal agents have rights to go through any property along the border to prevent illegal immigrants from entering. So it's to protect the border. So to protect the border, to prevent illegal immigrants, they are allowed to go through any place along the border, including private property, except their houses, to do their job. But that's where the problem also lies, because you can go through, you can go to that place, but are they stopping? So there is a lot of claims and counterclaims and whatnot that these agents are not doing their job. They're not stopping the illegal immigrants. In fact, they are probably even aiding them to get into the United States. And this is where the main problem is between the state and the federal governments, because the way how they enforce the border is so different. And also the argument to say that the border agents have the rights to go to any place, and these concertina wires or these erected barriers is preventing them from doing their job, which their job is to prevent illegal immigrants from entering, is really bizarre. It's basically a contradiction. So this battle is that's how I say it don't make sense, and it's purely a legal battle, and it's very purely, it's a symbolic thing. It's all about the symbolism. The battle is the problem of illegal immigrancy is across the entire US border, but it's only at this spot where the spotlight is, and clearly this is not a civil war. It is not a civil war. This is purely a symbolic battle, and this is just happened to be the spot that they choose to fight on. And at this spot, they are fighting to see what is legal and what is not legal, who has the right to do what thing. And from this point, this is where it matters, because any rulings and divisions and conclusions that come out from this one spot will be applied across the entire United States. And this is also why, if Texas is able to enforce whatever it is, other states can actually do the same thing. And if they don't, then they will be the ones suffering more illegal immigrants, because if Texas is successful here, they will be able to block illegal immigrants across the entire border. And what will happen is that the illegal immigrants will start to flow to the other states, which let me show you from another map, will be probably easier. They'll start to flow to New Mexico, Arizona, California. They'll find another way to get in, because Texas will be closed for business, and they have to go to the other half of this border between Mexico and United States. So that's the main problem right now. And currently what happening is that, according to the Texas governor, he said that he already have given letters, even personally, to Joe Biden, I think up to 8 letters, requesting and suggesting things on securing the border, mainly concerning about the border and the illegal immigrants. And to Texas, currently there is nothing is done by the federal government, basically. And as such, they can now trigger the constitutional right for them to protect themselves. And importantly is that the federal government can no longer limit the power of the states, because they are actually invaded or in imminent danger. And this is what is being pulled out of this by the Texas governor. And they might have a case in that. And so now we go into go into the legal side of what the hell is actually happening. There is all this saying that the federal government, the federal courts, the Supreme Court actually sided with the Biden administration. Actually, that is not true. And I just want to add this. Basically, what happened is that the U.S. Supreme Court basically vacated. It's a legal word. It's very hard to explain. Basically, there was this appeal that is going through. There is an injunction, basically a temporary order, and this temporary order is basically being cancelled. So the appeal is still ongoing. So this add-on cannot be is not legal. Is not going to be able to do. So basically, the Supreme Court basically just say one small thing. Basically, this add-on is not allowed, and the appeal case is still ongoing. And as such, so what happened is, what is the current state? So ignoring all the legal jargons, what currently happening is that the federal agents is allowed to remove the fencing and the wires. They are allowed to. However, the Texas National Guards or the Texas government is also allowed to continue to put more fencing. So basically, all these legal nonsense that is currently happening, the current state of situation is that the feds or the federal agents can remove the fence and the wires, and Texas can still continue to add more wires. So basically, it's a pointless. It cancels each other out, and which means the current state of affair remains, because the federal agents is not going to have enough resources to play this battle between the two of them on one removing, one adding. And on top of that, again, just as per what was being thrown at them by the AG of the Texas, basically saying that the agents have no rights to enter certain land, because those are not part of the land that the agents control. So these are all the legal battles that's currently ongoing. On top of that, Joe Biden is basically, arguing that he currently have a bill that is getting stuck, because this bill is actually to protect the border, and he wants this bill to pass through because he wants to secure the border, and he need to do it now or yesterday. And what's this deal? This deal that needs to be passed includes 1,300 additional border patrol agents, 375 immigration judges, 1,600 asylum officers, 100 cutting-edge inspection machines, which of course they will never is going to be used only at the legal crossings, and he said that by passing this law or this bill, it's going to be a win for America. So what? It all sounds very good, but the problem with United States is that in their bill, he added a lot of shit. No, that is a United States thing. I'm not sure why they cannot do one thing at a time. They have to power everything together in one thing which end up nothing gets done. It includes money for Israel and money for Ukraine, and we are talking about a lot of money over here. Let me scroll up. It includes this entire this deal that he wants passed include the 61.4 billion in aid to Ukraine, with enhanced border security. So it is very, very weird. So which is why if you look at some of these fighting, on Twitter, especially in Ukraine, basically, if you look at the pro-Ukraine Twitter or social media, you find them getting very interested in this Texas issue, because if you find them being anti-Texas, and you find them very, very pro the federal government, and they are very interested in the illegal immigrants issue, and and the idea is that they are against Texas, because Texas is now one of the main culprits is blocking the money from United States to Ukraine, and blocking the military aid that they desperately need in the midst of the Russian offensive operation that's currently happening over winter. And yeah, this is very bizarre. It's like Ukraine wanted to protect their border. They need money from the United States. They need military aids from the United States to protect their border, by asking the United States not to care about their border. And that's currently the state of affair. It's very, very weird. And yeah, so there is all this so the talk about all this situation is getting very, very flamed up, and there's talk about civil war and whatnot, and there's also some Democrats politicians politicians, asking Biden to federalize the National Guards of Texas, in order to basically neuter Texas into no strength, no military power, like I mentioned in other videos or philosophies that I talked to you guys before. Military power is very, very important, because the one with the bigger guns will always make the call. They will always be the deciding factor, the deciding side of things. And if Biden can control the National Guards of Texas, and Texas have no military and no means of defending themselves, then of course the federal government can walk all over them, and which is also why some of these Democrats politicians are trying to push Biden to do so. However, this is going to be a very bad step. Not to mention, it's basically by right. There's no way to do it, because there is no constitutional law allowing them to take control of the National Guards unless they are being sent overseas for war, like in Afghanistan or Iraq kind of situation. But within the United States, they have no power. So, but that is the current debate right now, and you can basically dismiss it, because if Biden really try to force it, it's going to cause constitutional crisis. Then yes, then we'll probably head towards a total breakdown of relationship between the federal and the state. And Texas is not alone. All the Republican governor states are all currently on the side of Texas. I think barring one, I think it's Kansas, but all of them are ready to back Texas up. And then this is also why all this backing and all this side taking is making it feels a lot like a civil war, but tentatively not yet. Whether this will trigger into one, yes, possible, because Texas is now looking at this entire issue as a matter of state security, like national security, but state security, and is a matter of their life and death. And And if the federal side, the United States itself, the government of the whole federation, is not going to care about the state's survival, the state's life and death, then there is a high possibility of secession. And then yes, then we will probably see a civil war, because all federations is like a mafia. You can come in easily, but you cannot get out. And so that is the main situation. Just like look at Russia, Crimea, the Chechnya tried, then they have some bloody war 2 times. Then yeah, once you can't get into a federation, you can't get out. And of course, United States is the same thing. They had the American Civil War. You can't get out. So yeah, so this is the current situation. So Greg Abbott, basically the Texas governor, say that they are prepared if Joe Biden ever tried to federalize his National Guard, but tentatively Biden have no, or at least his administration have no consideration of doing something like this, because they know this is not going to be a win. This is going to end up in the actual war. So we are not going to see that. And on top of that, we are also seeing that the border patrols also, basically their union also put out a statement, so saying that they will not arrest any National Guards, because they say National Guards are just following orders and they respect each other's job, they respect each other, and there is no problems between these 2 groups and these 2 organizations. They will not arrest any of these National Guards people doing their job. So this is actually very, very interesting. So the current situation, like I said, this is just a symbolic battle, but symbolic in a consequential way. So the battle of this state versus government, the clarification of who have what control, this battle between ideologies of protecting the state, the country's border, preventing illegal immigrants, or versus we should allow anyone to come into the country kind of thing. Yeah, is all being fight along at eager pass. So this is the battle that we are looking at. So don't get confused. We are not looking at the civil war yet, not yet. And all these talk about the standoff between the federal agents and National Guards of the Texas is overblown, because we're talking about like a few hundred people versus 50, 20, 30, 50 agents. So this is not civil war level counting. It's not civil war yet. Will it trigger into a civil war? Yes, there's a possibility, because the situation is very similar. In the Civil War, part of this argument is not entirely, but part of these differences is about slavery, is about the blacks, the slaves, getting liberation, and to getting more rights, and whether you can own slaves or not. This is not the entire thing about the Civil War, but it's just part of it. And so it's about liberty of people. So essentially the liberty of people. So now my nose is itchy again. But so now this is again about the liberty of people, but this time around is of the illegal immigrants. Do they have the rights to come to your land freely? In the past, slavery is a norm. It is the truth. It is a norm. And suddenly to grant freedom to slave, or to say that you're not allowed to have slaves, is weird. It's a weird thing for some people. Then now it's the same. We are seeing this same problem right now. Should people have freedom of movement across borders? Is it true freedom by allowing that allowing people to do that, or is it it shouldn't happen? No, it shouldn't be like this. So now the norm is we have borders, we have secure borders, we have legal and illegal immigration. Are we heading towards a world like what the Civil War has done with the emancipation of the people, of the slaves? Are we seeing the emancipation of migration. Is that what the battle is about? Maybe in 200 years time they will look back to this age, to our years, and say that no, it was during this battle of eager past, that we have the emancipation of the movement of people, and people now have freedom, total freedom to move anywhere they want, and this is normal. But during those oppressive days that of borders and immigration and citizenship, so poor souls of our era, we need to deal with borders and immigrations and citizenship. So who knows? 200 years later. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this bizarre situation, and hopefully I make it clear enough. I'm not sure. It is quite complicated in a way, because so many things are actually a lot of moving parts. But anyway, I hope I did my part to dispel some rumors and dispel some misunderstanding, and I'll see you guys in the next update.